welcome back to my channel. So it's been a long time, so I'm overdue for a 3-year update on my car. As you all know, I have a Toyota Yaris IA, model year 2018. I can't believe it. I got her in January of 2018 and now we're in August of 2021, so we're pushing 4 years, 3 years and 8 months right now. The last time I updated you all was last May, and at that point I had probably about 19,000 miles on my car at that time, and I got an oil and filter change that April of 2020. So in April of 2020 was the last time that I had a free oil change and filter change that was covered under warranty. Everything else after that pretty much I paid for out of pocket. So now here we are. Let's go down from things that have happened to my car since then. So again, you all know I have a Toyota Yaris IA, also known as the Scion IA, also known as the Mazda 2. So yeah. So in October of 2020, I got another oil and filter change, and at the time I had 21,958 miles on the car. Also, during the multi-point inspection, they noticed that my front brakes were pretty worn and the rotors as well. So I went ahead and I got my front brakes replaced and I got my rotors resurfaced, whatever that means. It cost me, I paid $328. So I took my car in October and I ended up getting an oil change, an oil and filter change, and that came up to be about $47. And then for my brakes and things, I had to, it says brakes, rotors, drums, so they check front and rear brakes, and then my front brakes measured at a 4 and my rear was still good, so they replaced the front brake pads and resurfaced the rotors, and my rear brake drums were still in good shape as of October of last year. So I probably definitely need to go and check that out now, because it's almost been a whole year since I've had my front brakes replaced. So I have no clue what my back brakes are looking like. So I actually have an oil change. I was supposed to have one at the end of July of 2021. I have not done it yet. Did all that and I paid $328, which I thought was fairly decent price for the dealership. Now I know nothing about cars, so y'all are probably like, girl, you overpaid, but I don't care. I don't care. I just want to make sure Skylar is working in the best condition that she can. Do you hear me? So that was in October. In January of this year, I started Ubering and Door Dashing from January through the first few weeks in April before I got really steady heavy for the CPA exam. So I was Door Dashing, Ubering a lot, and that's kind of a lot of miles in your car. It's a lot of wear and tear on your tires. So I kept running over stuff, sticks in the roads, nails, all that kind of stuff. So I had to get my tires patched. And one time I just kept going back to get air, and my car, I don't know, I was sick of it. My tires are plugged and patched and I just didn't feel comfortable. I mean, for me it's cool to have one patch, but having a few patches, a few plugs on your tires, it's kind of pushing it, you know? Honestly, I've had a patch tire for 7-8 months, cool. But when it's multiple, I get a little worried, if that makes sense. So I went ahead and said, you know what, I'm gonna get new tires. So the dealership, if I still have the paper, they wanted to charge me $700 for a full set of tires. Now I think the tires on my car are by Toyo. There's some type of monopoly. There are just not that many manufacturers who manufacture this size tire for my car. So you can only get them from a few places, and they're not very cheap. I called one place on my own and there was $550 or something like that, and I was like, I'll take it. I will take it, sir. And I have that invoice right here. So he said $500 and something, $525. Cool. So I went to them. My tires, actually the Toyo tires, they're 185/60/16, and basically the tires are $103 per tire. So 4 tires, that gives me $412. And then I had to pay for the valve sit stems, and then there's some taxes, and then the balancing of the tires. So I paid $526.77 for a full set of tires for my Toyota Yaris IA. I know I also contemplated getting a different size. I think I was thinking about getting 205 60/16s, if I'm saying it right. Okay, so we got new tires in January. They've been working pretty well. I will say last week my tire pressure light did come on, but I went to one of the little shops that plugs tires, puts airs in your tires for like $2, and he put the air in all my tires, and I haven't had an issue since. Now that's a thing that does happen with the car to me, not quite frequently, but it does happen what's that often when the weather starts to change, the temperature rises or falls, the air pressure in my tires kind of fluctuate with that as well. I haven't had any issues with my tires since I put the air in last week, and I had my car parked at the airport for like 3 days, and I came back, drove it home, no tire pressure light, no issues. So that was that on that. So that was in January. We got new tires, and at that point I had like 24,000 miles on my car, pushing 25,000. So in April of 2021 I had another oil change and a tire rotation. I did not go to the Toyota dealership. It probably would have been about the same price, because looking at the invoice from when I got my brakes done, it was like $47 or something. It wasn't super expensive to me. Yeah, parts and labor was $47, and that was the oil, the gasket, and wherever else that means, I don't know. So this time I paid $67 for an oil change. So y'all may think that's a lot, but I did go to an actual like auto place. I didn't go to like one of those fast quick lube or 20-minute oil change places. I just went to an automotive place. I don't know, and I just went and had lunch across the street, you know, dropped my car off. Anyway, I paid $67, and I thought that was a good price. I thought he did a good job. I was in and out within an hour. So yeah, I'm due for another oil change, so I may go back to the dealership to do a multi-point inspection, probably the beginning of next month. That's the maintenance that I had done to my car. Now, I did have a quite unfortunate incident. My neighbors have this lawn guy who cuts like 3 of their yards in like one day, and I had my car parked on the street, and my back driver's side window here got shattered. So my windows are tinted, which we talked about in my last video, on my last car update video. So the tinting for all 4 windows and the back windshield was $150, and so the tint's on the inside. So when my window shattered, it did not shatter inside of my vehicle, so that was nice. I didn't have to like pick up glass inside of my car, but I did have to get that replaced, and I think it was either $200 or $165 to get that window replaced. But someone came out to the house and they replaced my window, and then I had to get that window retinted. So I was driving around for like a week or so or 2 without like a tinted window on that side. So to get just that window retinted cost me $35. So I was out, this just rounded off $250, or I may be exaggerating. I'm just gonna say $200 because I can't remember exactly how much it cost, but let's just say it cost me like $200 to basically get my window retinted and to replace the window, which wasn't terrible. Like, it was unfortunate because, I mean, it shouldn't have happened. It's okay. So all in all, my car has not given me any issues or problems. I can't think of anything drastic that I want to tell you guys about. My navigation system is still working good. I have updated it a few times. I don't know if in the video that I had updated it, but the navigation chip that you can put in this car, you can update it. You put in your computer, and then you go to the little Toyota website or whatever, and you can make sure that it has the latest software. I love it still for when I'm going to the country and things like that. I just want y'all to know, thank you. I just want y'all to know that this GPS system, this chip that y'all don't have in y'all car and need to get, is completely worth it, because I have no signal. I'm out in the country with spending time with some of my family, and unless you have Verizon out here, you're signalless. And most of the older family members do not have Wi-Fi at their homes. So honey, get with it. Get with with it and get this navigation chip. Y'all see how it be telling me what to do? She said turn right. Okay, don't miss it, girl. Turn right now. Love it for that. The armrest is working well. I am thinking about getting another armrest. I think I may have said that in the last video as well, but I love the armrest still. So here it is. It comes with this little cable cord here, so you can charge your phone and stuff. Of course, this car does have charger ports actually in the little cubby hole up front, but this thing does allow it to, I guess, be closer to you. And yeah, so it's very easy to remove. So if you aren't familiar, this is the spot. It's empty, and then my little armrest is here. It's very comfortable. My friends take over it when I'm in the car, but it is a nice size, and it slides back and forth. But I think I want, so we have this front part here where I usually keep a lot of napkins. I need to restock this area. And then in here where I keep a bunch of miscellaneous things and glasses. There is a cup holder portion in here because you have this one here. So this original car has 2 cup holders right here, but this is kind of only for smaller size drinks now. And then there's a full one inside of the armrest. I do have backseat organizers which have drink pouches for my guest or whoever's riding with me. So there's that. I don't really know if it's valuable. I don't really keep up with how many miles per gallon or things that I'm getting, but I haven't had any major issues so far. I haven't had to replace anything drastic. I haven't had anything go wrong. Oh, I know. This is just a feature that the car that I never really noticed or paid attention to. So I think it's called collision prevention. One day I was leaving a parking garage, and as you approach like the little bar, and once you get close enough to it, it stops. It lifts up so you can get out of the parking garage, right? Well, my car, I got like close to the gate, and my car literally stopped itself. I was so scared, y'all. I was like, oh, what did I do? What did I do? And I guess it was the collision prevention that kicked in, and something showed up on my dashboard, and I was like, I didn't hit anything. I didn't do nothing. I didn't do it. I don't know what's going on. But Skylar really stopped me. Like, I didn't hit the brake or nothing. I was just like, I was scared. But it turns out, you know, the little collision prevention. But it's hope when it really comes down to it that Skylar has my back with the collision prevention, because there's been a few close calls and I never noticed her kicking in before. So I hope if it actually comes down to it, I hope she on my side. You feel me? You feel me? Okay, so moving on. The only other thing that needed to be replaced on my car was the overhead light, and I actually, at the time, I made a short video on how to replace that, so I'll include it now in case you all need to replace the overhead light on your car. So I'm going to show you how to replace an overhead light because mine is out. So stay tuned and learn a little something. So this light bulb is out, right? So I need to replace it, and I'm in this IA group. So there's a group for our car guys. You should join it. I'm in there, and I asked how do I replace this thing. They said side closest to the window. Otherwise, okay, the quarter is too big. Somebody said they used a coin. I wonder if I should pop it back first. Oh, look at me being smart. Okay, I got it kind of out. But now we struggle. Okay. Whew. Okay. Which one gets replaced? I think it's this thing. So I got it off. How do you take the light bulb out? Okay. My nail kind of got caught. Pulled out the little baby light bulb. Somebody said it was a $31.75 to replace it. So I'm just gonna hold this out and order a new light bulb. You can get this part from anywhere. Walmart, Lowe's, Amazon. I got it from Walmart. Okay, people, we are back. We have the light bulb. DE $31.75. Now the person in the group said if it doesn't work, turn it around. So but this one was sharper. Okay, let's see. It works, but now I need another color. I like this color better. I really do, but I love it. So this is what it looks like. It's in there. It works. It's the cool white one. If you want it to be that color, then just get the regular one. But I want it. This is what they had. I probably would have got the other one. But you see these little prongs here? So that's where those little clippies go. So I'm just gonna slide those first. Slide those in first, and then clip them in there. And it works. Whenever I learn something new about my car, I bring it to y'all. So now I have replaced the light bulb, and again it uses the DE3175. I called the parts store, gave them that number, and they were able to find it. So this is what the original one looks like. Yeah, Savania is the brand, but there's another one in red packaging. That's the original, so buy that one if you want the. I'm gonna end up replacing my other one as well, but there you go. Hope y'all learned something. Well everyone, that's it. I love Skylar and she loves me because she definitely gets me to point A to point B. I haven't really driven extremely far in her. I've driven like maybe the farthest like 2.5 hours away. I have done a turnaround trip before where I drove 2.5 hours somewhere, stayed for like 20 minutes, and then 2.5 hours back. So 5 hours maybe at one time just sitting in my car. That's the most I've ever done. But again, she can go long distance though if she needs to. She's good on gas. I don't know exactly how many miles per gallon I get, but no problems. I can fill up once a week or once in every week and a half, and we're good. So I appreciate her. I don't have any complaints, nothing crazy that I want to mention. Yeah, we're going strong. So shouts out to 4 years coming up soon. Thank you all so much for watching. If you have any questions at all about the car, let me know below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Later.